Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining today for the Fitch-Rona EMS, it's Jeff Dostalek. JD, welcome back to I don't even know why I've never called you JD, but darn it if I'm not going to do that from here on out. Jeff, how you doing today?
I am doing awesome. Thank you very much. How are you?
I am living the dream. Glad to have you back here on the show. We got a lot of stuff to get to today. We're going to start with fentanyl test strips and a new, I'm going to say a new protocol coming in here, but not even a protocol. It's just something that you're working in here when you're out on calls. Tell us about this fentanyl test strip.
Sure. So as part of the, we put into play the Leave a Dose program last year, where we go out on with patients that have overdosed either from a narcotic or any other overdose for that matter. And we have a kid in the ambulance that the crews, if things aren't really too chaotic, can leave with the patient if the patient decides not to go to the hospital, or even if they do, we leave it with the patient and or the family that they may be with at the time they have their medical emergency. And in that kit, it's some Narcan and some information on how to get assistance. Well, as part of that program, fentanyl test strips, which were recently decriminalized by the state of Wisconsin, have been released through Madison, through public health. And we thought that it would be really important as part of our Leave a Dose program that we'd also include fentanyl test strips. Essentially what they are is it looks like a little strip that, you might go to the doctor and provide a sample on, and they can test for certain things. Well, these test strips will test for fentanyl and 11 of the other fentanyl components, like carfentanil, in somebody's stash of drugs. So if they are about to use heroin or something else, they can take a small portion of the drug that they're about to use this fentanyl test strip to see if there's any fentanyl that has been mixed in with their drug. And the hope is that fentanyl and that component of drug use really has contributed to a large increase in the number of opiate polysubstance abuse deaths in Dane County through 2020. And I think, I feel that a part of our responsibility in EMS, especially here at Fitch-Rona, is that we can provide these fentanyl test strips. They're able to test their substances that they're using, proceed with much more caution as a result of that, or maybe even decide not to use what they have. And then with the Narcan kit, if for some reason something does happen, there's Narcan available in order to help save their life. The public health had put out their report a couple of days ago, and it was interesting to note that 33% of those that died of a polysubstance drug overdose, 33% of those were seen by EMS within a year of their death. And out of those 33%, 26% of those were seen by EMS within 30 days of their death. So I think we certainly have an opportunity here to save lives, on the front end of catching them before maybe they do something that has fentanyl in it, or with the Narcan kit, obviously catching them if it does, or they do have an opiate that's stepped on with fentanyl. So we're really, if I could say, we're really excited about this, but I think it's an initiative that you'll see a lot more of throughout the community once this report is released. Widely, you'll see, I think, a lot of organizations that will be able to distribute these fentanyl test strips. And Madison, Sarah Johnson over at Public Health Madison, Dane County, has been really supportive of us in providing these test strips to us. And they'll be put on the ambulances within the next week or so, and hopefully we can, the goal here is to save, even if it's just one life, then we've done our job. So
Jeff, it's great information, and it's a very interesting program, and I'm sure it opens a lot of questions here, and certainly we got a lot to talk about today. Besides this, but the trend has been that the overdoses have been going up for years. It is happening in our backyard. Would that be a fair statement, that our service, Fitch-Rona, is responding to overdoses, and we're involved in this, because a lot of people might say, well, this isn't really in our backyard, is it? This isn't really happening, is it?
Yeah, it's definitely happening in our backyard. And a lot of people will say, well, it's an inner city problem. It's really not. It is across the gamut of social economic status, educational status, and we really need to be prepared for it. And I hope that people will take an opportunity, and maybe we can get it on our website, is take an opportunity and look at the report that came out from public health on how prevalent this problem has been. And unfortunately, with the pandemic and all that goes along with that, the trend has increased significantly over the course of the last couple of years. And while the numbers are only through 2020 on this report, if 2021 is any indication, when those numbers are finalized, it's really pretty incredible on how much overdose deaths we have in Dane County. And across the country, it's the same way. I think we're probably a little bit better than some, but it does happen in Fitchburg and Verona and the town of Verona, and all of the areas of Dane County.
Yeah, it's right away in the report, and I'm looking at it as you were talking about, I was reviewing it, and it right out of the way, and the key takeaway, I mean, from 2000 to 2020, I mean, it is a straight up and not receding chart here of deaths by some type of overdose. So yeah. We'll follow back up with you on that, Jeff. Certainly appreciate you sharing it, and we'll see how it's going in the future. Sure. Do quickly want to get to a new partnership that Fitch-Rona is started, and I feel like you guys are always doing something fun and awesome. And children's the Children's Health Alliance. Tell us about that partnership.
Yeah, so we're fortunate that Nicole Newton, one of our paramedics that's on our staff, is part of the Children's Health Alliance of Wisconsin, and we started to participate with them in children's and youth with special needs. It's a pilot program that's out there, and the goal is that if a child has a disorder such as on the autism spectrum, a behavioral health disorder, or other special needs that they might have, the caregiver is encouraged to fill out a form that's available, and that it's available on our website, so Fitch-Rona EMS.com. If they fill out that form, they can give it to EMS, and it's kind of similar to, I would say it's kind of similar to an Alzheimer's form that we've used in the past, the File for Life form. Essentially, how can we communicate, especially with children with autism, how can we communicate with them appropriately, the medications they may be on, and some of the other medical history that we have. Dr. Kim with UW, the Health Alliance, Fitch-Rona, and I think it's important that our paramedics have an opportunity to really know the whole encompassing medical issues that some of these kids have. And this form, which is available on our website, you can download it, fill it out, keep it at home, give it to the school. They can present it to EMS, whether it's us or anybody else, and we'll have that information. So we're really proud to be part of that partnership as well.
Yeah, that's an awesome program, and yeah, check the website out at Fitch-Rona-EMS.com for that. Jeff, always a pleasure to catch up with you. There's always you always
bring us so much.
I know it's we can talk for hours, but unfortunately, I don't think anybody wants to listen to us more than right. More than they have to on some of this. But great information. Appreciate your time as always, sir. And we'll check in with you real soon.
All right, take care.
All right, Jeff Dostalek, Fitch-Rona EMS, your Deputy Chief. said, check out the website for more information on the stuff we talked about today. And of course, follow him on Facebook. Jeff's the Facebook guy. So follow him and
Twitter,
make sure that he knows you're out there. Oh, he's the everybody all above. All right, we'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
All right.